Greetings, y'all. This is your favorite professor, Dr. A. I am here on the Express Your Best podcast. This is where you will hear from college students from all over the world. They're going to share with you the highs and lows of their college journeys, and they're going to offer a few words of wisdom, especially for our students. Well, today is special. I know I say that all the time, but I really do mean it because our guest grew up on the south side of Chicago, but she is my second student attending the Connecticut College. Did I get it right?
Yes.
All right. I'm so excited. She's going to tell us how she ended up all the way in Connecticut and so much more. So I'd like to welcome to our show today, Asha. Asha, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, sure. We are glad that you are here. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Asha Horton. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I attend Connecticut College where I'm planning to major in architectural studies. I've just completed my first year, and I'm excited to go into my sophomore year this upcoming fall.
Okay. I know she's doing great things. I can't wait to hear more about this architectural career she's going into. So, Asha, we always go by having students to tell us how they express their best.
I feel as if I express my best by simply being myself and showing up in the best way possible, whether that's putting on a nice outfit, doing my hair, or
Mhm.
even my nails. I feel like that just helps me express myself and show up in my best form.
That is wonderful. And I can't wait for you all to see her because she is beautiful and you'll see exactly what she means.
Thank
So
you.
you are so welcome. Well, we heard that your major is architectural studies, right?
Yeah.
And I know that at some universities or colleges, that is a 5-year program. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you decide to go into architectural studies?
Well, I decided on architecture because honestly, my whole life I've been pretty good at math, but I really love art. So I felt like architecture is a good combination of both.
Mhm.
So I just feel as if I would really enjoy the profession. And for my school at Connecticut College, they don't do the 5-year program, it's a 4-year undergrad. So I will go for 4 years and then I'll go on to get my master's degree once I graduate.
Okay, so you already know that you're going to keep going.
Yes.
All right, that's wonderful. So, what are some of the things that you do, your hobbies and interests? I know that you said that you're interested in math and art. Does that extend beyond what's necessary for your major?
Yes. So I like not just for my major do I indulge in art. I like fashion. I like to just
Mhm.
paint or coloring. Honestly, anything artistic. It just brings me a lot of joy. But then outside of that, I've really gotten into going to the gym and I really just like to spend time, quality time with my friends and family.
Okay, so those are some things that are really important to you. Now that you've been in college for a whole year, girl, you are officially a college student. And I know that there have been a lot of changes. So what would you say is something that's changed about you the most since you've been in college?
I would say definitely I'm a lot more outspoken. I've noticed that since I've come home, especially when
Okay.
I come home to family gatherings. I've noticed myself previously being more reserved, kind of more quiet. But now
Uh-huh.
I feel as if I'm really open to speaking my mind and just talking to everyone. So yeah, I feel like college has definitely made me a more outspoken person.
Well, that's in a good way, right, Asha? You're not talking back to folk, right?
No, no.
Yeah. So what would you say are some of the highlights of your college journey so far?
I would say definitely getting to know new people. That was one of my main goals in even going away to college, going so
Hmm.
far. I knew I wanted to go away because I was just excited to meet more people and just branch out of the bubble that I've been in, I feel.
Yeah.
And then along with that, I would say definitely getting to just experience life on my own and practice my independence. I feel like it's been very rewarding.
So you've been adulting a little bit.
Yes.
How has that been for you? Was it an easy transition?
I feel like I've I've always been pretty independent, even as a child, but I
Hmm.
didn't realize how much support I had when I was at home with my family. Like, of course, I was independent, but I always had them as well to fall back on. So, going to school, it really showed me that it was all on me. I had to keep my ducks in order, and I just had to make sure that everything was going correctly due to my doing instead of other people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I feel like it
Okay.
wasn't too bad. I really enjoyed it.
Good. So tell me about a particular experience that really went well for you this year.
I would definitely say probably, so I joined the Black Student Union when I first got there, like the first week of school,
Uh-huh.
and I was elected to be the first year representative.
Oh, nice.
So I showed my participation through just going to the events, being a talkative person, bringing people. And so that ended with me going into being co-president next year. I've been elected and I won.
Awesome.
So I'm very excited for that.
Well, I would say that you're off to a good start, Asha. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Well, I know that as much fun as you're having and doing so many great things, sometimes college can bring about challenges. What would you say
Yeah.
has been a challenge for you, and how did you overcome it? Or it could be something you're still working on.
Well, I would say even before coming to the school, I was a little bit doubtful because
Mhm.
I really wanted to go to a HBCU. So
Okay.
that was always my dream. I always talked about it. And that didn't work out for me. But I think coming to school, I was a little bit nervous that I wouldn't be able to find my group, especially people of color, because Connecticut College is a PWI.
Yeah.
But I came and I just joined. I kind of just was involved in everything.
Hmm.
I was a part of a dance group. I joined many clubs. I went to lots of events, and I feel like that really just helped me find my people in the space, which was
Hmm.
very rewarding.
Yeah. You brought up something that has come up with other students, and I've heard this before, not, not even necessarily on the podcast. Sometimes with students maybe not going to the college of their first choice. Maybe talk to us a little bit about what happened with you and how you ended up going to Connecticut College, which was a good choice for you in the end.
Yes. So, like I mentioned before, my dream was always an HBCU because for most of my life, I've been attending predominantly white schools. So I just
Hmm.
thought, it was time to just finally be with people who look like me, educators that look like me. So my senior year of high school, I was nominated for the Posse Scholarship. Now, at the time, I had no idea what that was. It's a scholarship foundation where you basically are sent to a school with a group of people that you've been getting to know during your senior year of high school, and then you get sent and you guys all go together so that then you have your posse on campus. So, and it's a full tuition scholarship. So I was lucky to win the scholarship, and I decided that it was just my best option to go to Connecticut College, especially financially, and because I knew I already would know some people there, so it couldn't be too
Hmm.
bad. So yeah, that's how I ended up there with Posse. And yeah, I'm happy with my choice. I am.
That's great. I mean, I think, sometimes just weighing the options, and it's oftentimes, Asha, the first real adult decision that you have to make. Now, in some cases, like my dad told me, you can apply wherever you want, but my money's going to Hampton. And so I don't feel like I really had to make that decision, but I was okay with it. I do feel like it could be a lot of stress on a person that's 17, 18 years old trying to make the right decision. Yeah,
Yes.
how was that for you trying to go through that process? Did your mom just say, this is where you're going, or did you feel like she gave you some option or you had choice in that?
Well, I do feel like my mom never really came out and said you have to go, but there were signs. She honestly only ever talked about Connecticut College. She kind of was already telling people that I got the scholarship. So it was already kind of set in stone, and I feel like there wasn't much choice in it. And at
Yeah.
the time, especially senior year, there's a lot going on. There's graduation, there's prom, it's my
Yeah.
last year. So it was very stressful, and I did feel a lot of stress in the decision because it wasn't my first choice.
Right.
But I'm happy it's over. I'm happy I am
Hmm.
where I am. And
Yeah, but that's the beginning of it all, right? That is one of the ways that you start realizing, gosh, a lot of things are done for me. Choices are made and I don't really have to think about it. But for, going, where am I going to go and making sure that it's the right decision for the next 4 years of my life, that's big. So
yeah,
congratulations to you
thank
and
you.
getting it right and finding your tribe. That's a big deal. Who is it or what is it that keeps you motivated, Asha, especially when it comes to times like that? Sometimes people are having to make these choices and they just shut down. How do you stay motivated?
Honestly, I stay motivated by looking at my family. I look to my family for a lot of comfort because I know that they believe in me and I just want to make them proud. And
Yeah.
then for myself personally, I just say like one of my biggest fears in life is just not trying and not putting my best foot forward. So
Hmm.
I feel as if as long as I'm trying and putting my best foot forward, then that's the best I can do and that's what makes me happy and making myself proud.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have conversations with yourself, Asha?
Yes, I do. I do talk to myself.
I think that's important.
Yes,
Sometimes people hear you saying things, but you gotta, hey, I will say you have to talk to yourself sometimes.
yes,
That definitely is a part of my motivation. So let's get back to something that we mentioned in the beginning where you talked about your interest in math and art and how that was going to help you to work toward the goal of becoming, is it that you want to become an architect?
yes. I do want to be an architectural designer.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about that. I know there are different ways or different arenas that can work. So tell us specifically, what do you want to do with this degree?
So, well, with my degree, of course, I want to go on to get my master's, and then I would just
Hmm.
want to become a practicing architect. And hopefully, eventually, one day, I have faith that I will start my own firm because I would love to
Yes.
be my own boss. That just sounds like something that I would be working towards. So, yes, I do want to become an architectural designer with my own firm in the future.
Now, with that architectural design, is that something, do you want to maybe design buildings or homes, or do you have anything in particular in mind?
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out now
Hmm.
because I'm so early on in my major. And at my school, we don't really declare our majors until our sophomore year. So
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure out what I like what type of things I like to design, if
Yeah.
it's shopping malls or homes or
Hmm.
apartments. I'm still trying to figure that out, and I hope I'll find out someday soon.
Yeah, well, you've got time. What is it that excites you most about the future as you think about, architecture? I could be short or long term because you are going to be vice president of BSU. What are some things that excite you about the future?
I'm just excited to see all of my hard work pay off. Whether
Hmm.
that's not really in the things I have, but more so my happiness. I would just love to see myself achieve my goals. And I hope this all leads towards me traveling the world someday and being
Yeah.
able to support myself and hopefully those around me.
Okay. See, this dream is getting bigger. I love it. Now we're traveling the world. I love that.
Yes.
Are there any concerns? I guess when I thought about this, you are someone growing up in a country where we've got a lot of changes that can impact students negatively. Quite honestly, can impact any of us negatively. So there are a lot of things happening, and especially you're an African American young lady. Are there any concerns that you have as you are thinking about your future?
Well, yes, I am a little bit afraid of not just our country, but the world not
Hmm.
progressing, but staying where we are, especially when it comes to terms with racism and sexism. But I try not to dwell too much on those and just
Yeah.
focus on myself because that's really all I have control of. So as long as I
Mhm.
focus on myself and I know I'm putting my best foot forward, that's really all I can ask for.
Absolutely. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. You should place the emphasis on what you're doing, put your head down, just keep moving forward. I am interested in your thoughts about how AI is going to impact your future as an architect. Do you see that that's something that you can work with, or do you see it as a necessary evil? What are your thoughts about the artificial intelligence world?
I think AI can definitely be a helpful tool,
Yeah.
but I do think it can be abused. And I can see how it would affect my job as an architect, but I just hope that I have the personality one and the skills where it's not comparable to artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I think that there will always be certain things that people and talent are needed for. There's definitely a human quality that's necessary. So I believe you're going to be just fine. I wouldn't even worry about it. So, how old are you, Asha?
I'm 19.
19. What's important to you at 19 years old?
I would say my friends and family, they
Mhm.
probably come first in my life, and then definitely just making the most out of my experiences because I'm young and I won't be young forever. I just want to make sure that I'm living my life to the fullest. So, yes.
I like that answer. Living your life to the fullest. And hopefully that will never change. Hope that
Yes,
you'll
that's my
always feel like
plan.
you're doing that. Asha, I feel like we're going to be talking again in the near future because you are doing so many awesome things. And I know that that's going to continue. As we prepare to end our show, I'd like for you to share some words of wisdom for your peers. What can you leave us with?
I would say, honestly, just being yourself is the most important thing
Yeah.
and just trying everything. I feel like I understand it can be scary to try new things, but I would say it's important to just branch out, even trying things that you're unsure you'll like, because I feel like that's how I've come to even find friends. I found people, I found hobbies. I just found things that I've enjoyed that way by just branching out and just doing random things. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, you know what? I know that this comes up often on the show that people talk about how important relationships are. Can you say a little bit about, relationships and maybe not only with your peers, but what about with faculty or staff? What are some ways or some tips that you can give people for that to step outside of their comfort zone?
I say office hours. If your professors have office hours, I definitely recommend going
Hmm.
and just building those connections with your professors, whether that's participating in class or
Hmm.
talking to them before and after class. If you have a question, not being afraid to reach out and emailing. Emailing is very important because it puts what you're saying in writing and it just shows that you're trying to make that effort to connect with your professors.
Yeah, so that is so all of the things that you said are super important. And I heard that or hope that the audience has really heard you. You've talked about, showing up and feeling your best and how that equates with being able to express your best self. You also told us that being in college can help us to grow and become a little bit more outspoken and not being afraid to have a voice. You shared with the audience that getting to know people, branching out, becoming more independent is really an important quality to that you are going to find out about yourself in college. You mentioned joining organizations and kind of challenging yourself in a space where you weren't certain if you were going to experience belonging. You really put yourself in a place where you were surrounded by people that were like you. And
Yes.
I think what I hear from you is not just look like you, but also are like-minded. And
Yeah.
that's really important as well. And lastly, I really want to drive home the importance of those office hours. Your faculty members, the staff, they want to meet with you. That's what
Yeah.
they're there for. They want to have a cup of coffee or have some donuts or whatever. They just want to sit down and get to know you. There is no need to be afraid of that. I tell my students I am a lot nicer in my office than I am in the classroom.
Yes, it's a completely different environment. I totally get it.
Yes, it really is. And so you get a chance to know people. And these are the people that are going to be there when you need the letter of recommendation, when you need some advice. They're going to be there to offer that to you. Asha, I've had a great time with you today.
I have as well. Thank you again.
Well, I look forward to hearing all of the wonderful things that you're going to do in the future and hope that you'll agree to come back soon. Can I
Yes, of
count on
course.
you?
Yes.
Great. Well, this has been another episode of the Express Your Best podcast. I am your favorite professor, Dr. A, always here to provide some words of encouragement to start your day. Have a great one, y'all.